I met with some of the best Rainbow Six Siege players to find out one thing. What is their top advice for their favorite operator? Meeting some of the top champions from also comp players, they don't play like the average player. Be sure to watch until the end because I have a special guest for you to showcase my favorite operator in the game. The first operator we have today is Azami, and she's going to be being played by Tra, who is playing in the league before Pro League. I'm here with Tra, who is a Challenger League player, and he's one of the top 100 Azami players that I know. In fact, probably one of the best, and he's going to help us a little bit with how you should play Azami, maybe some better gates. So what do you have in mind for us today?
A lot of people don't know in Azami you can actually just use her gates just to play more aggressive spots. Oh my god. I'm so mad. A lot of people don't know you can actually just use zombies to play more aggressive spots. So what I like to do on Cafe, I like to put these two Kiva barriers right here just to not get shot from the piano windows. You can just play really aggressive. They get open the wall. You can still hide here or hold CS if they can't get the red wall open. Mainly Kiva barriers is mainly just to cut off line of sight so they just can't kill you for free. You can just hold these good angles, really aggressive spots. If they don't join you out, it's an easy free kill. Also,
let's go and take a look and see how it looks like outside. Yeah, it might be pretty annoying to deal with you here if you're still here. So how long do you think players should kind of stick around this area for?
Until they clear out you and start flashing you, nading you, and even no more Kiva barriers in pocket. This only takes 2 just to hold down this little spot right here, but this little spot can create a lot of like destruction for the enemy team. They can't just like nade you out. And then mainly what I like to do with Kiva is I like to just use makeshift shields, because mainly just be a pixel shield. I like to throw one right here, where the guy in pixel can come out for free and just hold this angle, just play really aggressive with me if I need to like be traded out.
I see.
Also too with one-way doorways, I like to throw them on. So in the last couple seconds, I like to throw them on the door right here, but they have to crouch in. Saying if I'm playing all the way in cocktail, I can just hold the long angle.
Yeah, the one-ways can be really, really strong. I think a lot of players should be trying this out more.
Yes. Zombie still like has a lot of secrets of her, of people what can do with her, which is why she is so broken right now, especially in the competitive scene on certain maps.
Yes, 100%. You guys should try Azami today. Now, Azami's all fun, but she might have competition with my last operator. The next defender we have on the list is a popular one, but a lot of people tend to use her wrong. So I asked JMN, who is a top champion player. You guys probably see him in my videos. I play with him a lot, but he's a ranked demon who's going to show us how to use Melusi correctly. So the next operator we have is Melusi, one of the best defenders in the game, and I have a champion player with me who is very experienced on Melusi. So what advice would you give for Melusi players?
Better Banshee placement. I've seen a lot of people placing a bad Banshee right here, for example. This is a bad Banshee because as an attacker, you could walk up way too deep before triggering it. Where you want to place it instead, it's right about here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This gives the defender more time to react to the Banshee being set off, instead of them having to react too late when the attackers are already on the plat.
And one last thing, where should Melusi kind of play? Is she like a site player, or is she kind of like a roamer? How should we play her?
Melusi is more of a roaming operator. We're going to be roaming like across the map, just where the attacker is going to enter in from. You can shoot cams and rotate back to site. All depends on how you want to play her. But she should be off site.
Yeah, Melusi is a pretty easy operator. Hopefully we can see better Banshee placements on people. So let's move on to the next. Now, Melusi would probably be one of my top played operators if it wasn't for the last operator on this list. We're moving on to one of the best attackers in Year 7, Season 3 and 4, so you might want to pay attention. I possibly got the best Iana main for this topic in North America. You guys probably know him from his streams and YouTube videos. His name is Senville. You guys already guessed it. Senville is the man for Iana. He's one of the best Iana mains that I know, and he's going to give his best advice for Iana. So if you guys want his Twitch, will be in the link in the description, but kind of guide me through Senville. What are Iana mains? What should they do, and how can they become a better Iana main?
So Iana is an entry. So when you're playing as an entry, you are clearing map control, taking control of the map, and clearing off any type of utility that the hard breachers or other flex players won't be able to clear out themselves. So like, we're gonna go through a master default here. So as Iana, I'm gonna leave a camera here at the main door. While I open up the main door, make sure you shoot default cams as well. Boom. I'm gonna help clear out armory and master. So I will use my drone really quickly, like, you know, just leave it up here, leave it for a flank. Again, I'll place it up there. And then I'll have a teammate drone me up armory while I'll take the first engagement. I'll go through, clear out armory, shoot defaults. Now we have control of armory. We're gonna have another teammate watch this trophy door while the hard breach player goes for the wall, and I'm going to use my grenades. This is probably the most important part of this take, is grenading through the floor. You need to do it like this. Grenade anything on the wall, off, or you can do it like this, which is a little bit safer. Because you're gonna do, boom, grenade off. Hard breacher gets the wall open, and for the execute, we try to go for a default plant. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go up with the hard breach because we're probably having at least 1 or 2 people drop by now. So I'm either gonna work this door or I'm gonna work from the breach. If we have more grenades, if I get that in one try, I'll use my grenade to get that shield, asking for burn for this door, which will be here, or use it, or shield that will be here. And then we go in, get our picks, we're gonna go.
So how can someone use their clone a little bit better? And like what situation should you use your clone in?
So what situation you should use your clone? So if I'm out of drones, so like a lot of times I'll use my drones for like flank cams. Like that's mostly what I do with my drones, because I always have a drone that I can go forward. So I always use my clone, my drones for flank watch, and use my clone for push forward. And if I really want to feel tricky, I'll use it to like fake out like I'm going to clone. So sometimes people will push you while you go for your clone, and you can just take them out.
I see. And last one thing, but people know you for your aggressive pushes. How, as like Iana, can you make those plays for your team? And how can you open up those opportunities? Like when should you push versus, you know, obviously you can't just sprint in, but like, you know,
Okay,
how can someone push a little bit better with Iana and make those
So
plays?
you either do it early or you do it late. You never do it in the middle of the round. So I will either I'll do probably both, honestly. I'll do a really aggressive at the start to try to catch people off guard, setting up late or out of position early where they're not really ready for a push, or I'll do it late when we're all kind of coordinated, connected together, and I'm going to call out, all right, I'm going to go run down, I'm going to run through the trophy door, I'm going to swing into attic, someone hold my big window, I'm going to go into attic. You just kind of coordinate the push at the end.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Senvel, and hopefully this helps people play Iana better, and you guys go watch a stream. Link will be in the description. And moving on to the next operator. What the fuck? Wait, what? No.
You better include that. I knew you were gonna kill me.
I will say I've been playing a lot of Iana on my streams at twitch.tv/Athieno, but that's only because if I'm not playing my favorite operator. Moving on to one of the best defenders in the game right now, which is Mute, and I got none other than my ex-teammate in Challenger League, my partner in crime, Jewel. So next up we have Mute, who is one of the best defenders in Siege, and I have my teammate here, Jewel, will show us his best tip for Mute. So bring us on, Jewel.
All right, so basically what I do with Mute is I just put my first Mute Jammer here for trophy door, and then I'll put my other one for the games wall right here, and I'll make like all the default rotates and stuff for my team. And what I like to do with Mute, honestly, is when I'm done setting up the rotates, I'll drop down this hatch, and you can come around. And I like to roam with Mute, so I have 2 Mute Jammers in my pocket, so I can put a Mute Jammer in security, and I can pop the hatch in security, and then I can go over here to freezer, put a Mute Jammer here. And I think the best thing to do with Mute is to play around his kit, right? So he has a shotgun, so you can play in security and play these close angles, and then you also have your SMG-11 if you want to like roam out and fight anybody coming into showers, or if they're not pushing you, you can push up through Z. And I mean, I recommend doing this late round, like when they're executing, you have like your C4 and you can throw it in classroom, and that gets the people on the wall. And there's a million different C4 spots you can do, and you can shotgun below the default plant, and you can also, if you really want to, you can make a rotate into kitchen. There's another really good spot right here. You can open up a hole, and if you still have your C4, which I don't anymore, I used it, but you can throw it through these slats and get the people running in onto the breach in through sight. And that just requires communication with your team. But yeah, that's all I really do. I think just playing around downstairs in security and like having a roam presence is the best way to play Mute, and just playing around his kit, his shotgun, and his SMG.
So what would you say is the best positions for Mute, kind of like start of the round through like end of the round? Like should you be staying in sight, or should you be roaming?
I think start of the round, I think you should be like a light roam, like somewhere near site. So I would consider like this area like in security near site, like bottom white near site. Like you shouldn't be in the basement or you shouldn't be way out over here in small tower because you're gonna get caught out, right? I mean, you can push up for a drone or two, but then fall back. I think like if you want to like think about like mid to late round, it'll be somewhere near site, and then late round you can be ready for that C4 play, whether it's like up through Z or in here in kitchen. I think that's the best way to play mute.
Okay, and last, maybe what's some good like shotgun tips you can give for people? Really,
the best way to play the shotgun is to just hold a tight angle on a corner, right? And you want to be on ADS, and then when you peek out, you want to kind of, it's almost like a quick scope, right? Like you just want to like peek and ADS on them, so you get the spray is tighter, and it ensures the kill rather than wide spray, like on ADSing. I might have to hit you twice rather than if I ADS real quick, I'll hit you once and I'll kill you.
Yeah.
That really just is just for close encounters, right? Or for long range encounters. If you're really close, like if it's point blank, like it doesn't matter. I'll one pump you. But if you're further away, it's better to ADS with the shotgun. So that's like a main tip, I would say.
I guess a lot of people are wondering when should you use the SMG over the shotgun. Like when should you know to swap?
Yeah, so I think anything over like, I guess right here is like what, 8 meters. So anything over like 7 to 8 meters, I would say is a good time to pull out your SMG. Anything closer than that, like from here to bottom to where you're standing right here, just stand like right here on White Stairs. I think this is a good shotgun range, but if you back up to the double door, then that's probably a good SMG range. So there's a fine line. Anything like super long range, obviously you want to tap fire with the SMG. In close range, you can kind of spray out the mag, but it's best to just tap fire with the SMG.
All right, thanks, Jewel. Thank you. That's for all the mute mains out there. And we'll move on to the next operator. Mute is my favorite operator only because he has the same exact kit as the operator we have right next up. If you guys been watching my content for a while in my streams, you know that my famous operator is Smoke for his clutches. Those same skills are developed by another player and streamer and content creator, another smoke god to another smoke god. You guys know him, none other than Pogs on Locks. And the last operator that we have today is Smoke, and who better to portray Smoke better than Pogs on Locks? As you guys know, his YouTube channel, he hit 100,000 subs. You guys already know him. I don't need to introduce him. So Pox will give his smoke guide, and I say we're equally as good. I would say I'm a little bit better than Pox on smoke, but you know, he's got some good stuff up his sleeve. So what would your advice be for smoke mains?
Hey guys, as a professional smoke main,
Professional
first thing as a smoke main is you definitely got to be doing those site setups, and you definitely got to be running the shotgun. At least on the sites that you need the shotgun for, which is pretty much all of them. But make the rotates, make the lines of sight, and then stay alive because your smokes are useful. I think, Athieno, one of the most common mistakes with smoke actually is that people are too passive with smoke. And I know I just said stay alive, but at the same time, you can use your smokes real aggressive to cut off lines of sight and just take individual gunfights. So especially if you're like down in man advantage, so if you're in like a 3v5 and you get those picked back, you can definitely use your smoke grenades to do that. So I'll finish the site setup here, you know, reinforce the walls, whatever.
One thing people also want to know is like, when should you use the SMG-11 versus the shotgun? Because I think people get confused about that sometimes.
Personally, I use the shotgun more often than not. It's really just depending on where I'm playing at. So if I'm playing in an area like right here and they're pushing through aqua and getting ready to push to the site, I'll pull the shotgun out and just play this close angle because I'm in a range that I can one pump them. If I'm playing back here in hookah and they're coming through aqua, then I'll pull out the SMG-11 because it's a farther range fight, but I can still quick peek off the rotate and try to like get a headshot or whatever. Or I can smoke deep, and then if I actually hit my smokes, so I can smoke like this, and then I can push up and get aggressive with the shotgun because then again I'm in that shotgun range. So if they're behind the bar or whatever, I can peek around and get the kills with the shotgun because they're going to get killed in one shot, which is nice.
Yes, I think you explained it very right. Smoke is definitely an easy operator, but in order to make these situations happen, I think it just comes with practice, along with the other 5 operators that we talked about today, and I hope you guys learned something new. One thing I learned through my whole Siege career is that there's always info to be found to improve your gameplay. To those watching this, if you want to get good at anything, whether it's Siege or in real life, it all comes down with practice and a good mindset. If you like this video, be sure to check out these videos right next to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.